Mm-mm-mm. Alrighty. What's up, familia? Today's live stream is going to be a little different. All right. I know that we always talk about energy and we're always talking about working out and we're talking about diets and nutrition, building habits or motivation. But today it's going to be about mental health. Because here's the truth, stress is a silent killer, and anxiety is the thief of our peace. And both of them are at an all time high. So if you've been feeling tired for no reason, if you wake up with tension in your chest, if your mind can't stop racing, even when your body is so exhausted, then guess what? This episode is for you. We're going to be talking about stress, or like what stress really does, why anxiety feels so uncontrollable, and most importantly, how to take your life back before these things break you down. So if you're live in chat, hello, don't be shy and say hello, and tell me how you feel, or have you felt stressed or anxious this week? Yes or no? Be honest. Let me know. For me, not at all. And if you're watching from the replay, then type peace in the comment and let me know that you are ready to reclaim your life. All right. So let's dig in, guys. Let's dig in. Why stress is the silent killer. All right. Here's the hard truth. Stress kills more people than any other bad habit, okay? And it's not all at once. It's slow. It's like a silent bleed. And the scary part, your body is built for short bursts of stress. Kind of like running from a lion. But in modern life, it's like lions everywhere 24/7 because the bills, because deadlines, because notifications, because emails, and even comparison on social media, it triggers the same survival circuits. And what happens? Your stress, your stress hormones, your cortisol and your adrenaline never turn off. And that's like keeping your engine revving at like 7,000 RPM all day. What's going to happen to the engine? It's going to burn out. I had a client, a 32-year-old gym rat, it's worked in finance, and he looked incredibly healthy on the outside. All right. But the inside, his blood pressure was through the roof. His testosterone was tanking. Sleep was complete trash. Why? Because chronic stress. He thought that grinding was winning. What he didn't see is that his body was slowly collapsing, and it was really sad. So, yo, what's going on, man? Hello, and welcome on in. On a scale of 1 through 10, chat, how stressed do you feel right now? Drop the number and no judgment, all right? And I do see a really good question up here. Adrian says, Doc, is all stress bad? Do we not need some stress to grow? That is a very good question, Adrian. And the answer would be yes. Stress is like a fire. If it's controlled, then it can warm you. But if it's out of control, it can burn down a house. So short-term stress builds strength. Chronic stress will destroy it. All right. Why don't we just move on to anxiety, guys? Sarah, hello. How are you doing? Greetings. Look, anxiety is your brain's alarm system. Okay. Anxiety is not a weakness. It's your body trying to protect you. It's an alarm system that's kind of just broken the majority of the times. Your brain can't tell the difference between a tiger and a overdue bill. It reacts the same way. Your heart starts to race, you're breathing shallow, your muscles tense up, and it's pretty scary because the more you fight anxiety, the louder it screams. Have you ever had a panic attack and you thought to yourself, like, stop it, you're trying to fight it back? What happened? It only made it worse. And that's because resisting signals danger, okay? But acceptance signals safety. It's like telling your brain, hey, you're safe now. We got this. Chill out. Relax. We're good. Emily, nice seeing you, Doc. How are you doing? I'm doing really good. I have a question. Sometimes my chest feels heavy for no reason. Is that anxiety or is it something else? Okay, Emily, always check with your doctor if you are unsure. But if we are staying in topic, yes, chest tightness is a classic anxiety symptom. Your body is pulling blood from your digestion to your muscles. It's preparing it to fight or run. And we'll talk about how to stop that in a second, actually. Excuse me. Oh, man. So good. So, how does stress hijack your body? Okay. Let's get real. Here's what chronic stress does to your life in the background, okay? Chronic stress will raise your blood pressure, which is silent heart damage. It will destroy your sleep, which will lower your testosterone and growth hormones. It will spike cortisol, which will store fat around your belly and many other disgusting things. And it will wreck your digestion. Have you ever had like stomach issues whenever you're stressed? Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have. As a matter of fact, I had a nurse client about 9 months ago or so. And she's saving lives like always, but she couldn't save her own peace. She ate clean, she worked out, and she, was still gaining some weight. And why was this? It's because stress kept her body in storage mode. She thought that it was all about her diet, but it was not. It was all about her nervous system. So, what's going on, chat? Chat, have you ever noticed stress changing your appetite or your sleep? Yes or no? Let me know. Brian says, Doc, greetings from, England. How are you doing? Why do I crave junk food whenever I am stressed? Brian, that's called survival mode. Your brain wants quick energy whenever it feels unsafe. So sugar equals fast food, not fast food, it equals fast fuel, but that short-term fix makes long-term stress worse. So be careful. All right. I'm actually going to be giving you guys 4 steps to reset your nervous system now that we're talking about it. So this is where we take control. You cannot delete your stress, but you can teach how to reset it. Point number 1, or step 1, is breathing. You guys can breathe to hack the system. Okay, you can do something that's called box breathing, where you inhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold it for 4 seconds, and then you exhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold it for 4 seconds, and you do that for a minimum of 5 times. Okay? Excuse me. This signals safety to your vagus nerve. All right? Step number 2 is going to be cold exposure. So you can splash your face with some cold water, or take a 30-second cold shower burst. You can also get like ice water in a bucket or a canister, like a container. and put your face in it for 15-20 seconds. This is going to instant reset for panic and high stress. All right. And step number 3 is going to be move. Stress hormones need to be burnt off. So walk, do some push-ups, do some squats, dance in your room, but just move. And step number 4 is going to be ground. Okay, this is completely overseen, and sadly, I think a lot of people just don't do it anymore. And if they do, it's going to be like this very, very small percentage of people. Yeah, Tim, yes, I completely agree with that, and that's where I was going to. People, you need to just take off your shoes, take off your socks, and go touch some grass, for 10 minutes. No phones, no headsets, no electronics, just you, yourself, with nature, and just reconnect. It's going to feel amazing, I promise. All right? Jordan says, Dr. Caesar, can these hacks stop a panic attack? Yes, Jordan, they won't erase anxiety overnight, but they will flip your nervous system from fight mode to calm mode. All right. And with this, I could actually give you like daily stress armor habits now that you're bringing that up. So a really good armor habit is going to be like morning sunlight for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, no phones for the first 30 minutes after waking up. 10 minutes of deep breathing or meditation. 30 minutes of I keep on point number one. I'm just giving you guys a thumbs up, I guess. I would assume this is like the fourth point. 30 minutes of intentional movement. Okay, like we all move around almost every day, but be intentional, which means go for a power walk, go train, go do some HIIT, go do something that is intentional. And then as a night routine, dim the lights, no screens, and gratitude journal. And when it's time for bed, like to sleep, make your room pretty cold, like 68 degrees or below, and as dark as possible. These are not luxuries, guys. These are all survival. And if you are listening to this episode, or if you're watching it on YouTube, I'm pretty sure you can do all of these steps. Pretty sure. Let me get to this. Doc, what's the best habit if I could only do one? It's going to be breathing, because we do it, regardless. It sounds simple, but breathing controls your heart rate. It will control your cortisol and your digestion. If you master your breath, like your breathing, you will master your state of being. And that leads me to the mindset, your mindset shift, to end chronic anxiety. Here comes a big one, guys. Here's the truth. You will never be able to eliminate stress, but you can eliminate how it controls you, okay? And I call it the shift. I actually wrote a book about this. And the shift. Stop seeing stress as an enemy. See it like if it was a signal or like a teacher. See it saying something like, something needs your attention. Stress is telling you something needs your attention, all right? On the other hand, you have anxiety, right? It's your brain overprotecting you. So instead of saying, man, I hate this, stop it, I feel very nervous, oh, what's going to happen? Try saying, thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I'm good now. Thank you so much. I know it sounds really silly, but try it. Your body listens to the tone you speak to it with. I promise you, okay? I promise. Camila says, Doc, greetings from Mexico. Greetings. How do I calm down fast before a big meeting? Okay, so breathing. Exhale longer than you inhale. This tells your body that you are safe, and then you'll be good. Medio says, Doc, can supplements really help stress? Oh, man. Yes, but they are only support. It's not a fix. You can use magnesium, you can use ashwagandha, you can use L-theanine, but you have to remember habits come first. All right. Another question. Oh, Miss Brooks, how are you doing? I just saw you like 7 days ago or so. Miss Brooks says, what's your personal go-to when life hits hard? Okay. So it's breathe, journal, and move. You have to always go back to the basics. And I do these in that exact order, okay? And the reason behind it is because let's just say that something just hit me. Not an object, but, like a lot of stress or anxiety just, hit me, a situation. The really first thing that I do is I breathe. I calm down. All right, I do as best as I can to relax, to calm down, to bring all my awareness back. The second thing is I journal. Okay, so we got breathe, now we journal. I start writing down the situation. And let me tell you guys, if you are capable of writing down the problem or the situation, you already have half of the solution, okay? And then we got breathing, we got journal, now move, all right? So if time permits at that moment, I'll go to the gym. And if not, then I go for a 10 to 15 minute walk, okay? Now, whether it's at the gym or at, taking a walk, I never take any kind of electronic. I don't have my phone. I don't have a headset. I'm not listening to music. I'm not looking at a tablet, blah, blah, blah. It's just me by myself and my own thoughts. And by around minute 10 to 15-ish, just around there towards the end, sometimes, the walk is a little longer. But just at around that time, my brain or like my thoughts start to give me the other half of the solution. And it has always worked, and it will always work because I trust it and I trust myself. We always have the answers to everything. We just need to think. We just need to give our brain time to process things. So, Ms. Brooks, I hope that was good. And chat, why don't you guys drop one word that describes how you feel right now? Do you feel calm? Do you feel hopeful? Or do you feel strong? Sad? Disappointed? Do you guys feel like you've had a tan because of how shiny my head is? Let me know while we round things up. All right? So today wasn't just some tips, it was basically survival talk, because mental health is health. And if you don't protect it, like if you don't protect your peace or protect yourself, then who is? And nothing else is going to work. So if you're watching from the replay and you're still here, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Why don't you comment down below? I choose peace. All right. And if you are in chat, why don't you throw me a lot of W's and some hearts? I love you guys. And remember, stop playing with your health. It's not a game. It's your life. Take care of it like if it really matters. You know why? Because it does. Much love. I'll see you on the next episode. Until next time. Bye.